Okay, now we got it to a level 10. Good job. If not, pause quick and get it there. So what'd you do? Did you imagine how every bite would taste and magnify those feelings? What'd you do? I mean, the question can get pretty redundant. However, when you understand how you operate, how your mind operates, then you take control. It's no longer a mystery. It's no longer given up to chance and external circumstances. So try to get a feel for how you did it. You could do it a million different ways, but just know what you did so you can leverage that in the future and get there a lot quicker and easier. Okay, now take a deep breath. And imagine a bunch of green leprechauns doing Arnold Schwarzenegger impressions. Almost as bad as mine, but maybe not quite that bad. Okay, that's just to break state a little. Tremendous job so far. Good stuff. All right, now let's take your level of desire down to a +2. Now, if you're like, no, I can't bring myself to do it, you know? Little Debbie and me are just too close. We have a bond that just can't be broken. I love her too much. I know, I get it. So it's up to you. If you absolutely could do it, what would it take? What would you have to imagine? What would you have to focus on? Like I said before, without a doubt, it can be done, and it gets even easier as you go. So whatever it takes to get there. Do you have to imagine it stale, burnt? Do you have to add weird stuff to it? Just get it to a level 2 right now, +2. Pause if you want to take a little bit more time. Okay, now just go to a level 0, where you just feel neutral. It doesn't matter if it's tough to do this now. Once you figure it out a little, once you flex that muscle, it'll be way easier to do in the future. When you begin to notice how to do this stuff, how you shift things, what your patterns are, once you've done it and know how to do it, you'll be able to do in a few seconds what you thought was pretty much impossible before. Sometimes it takes people a little time to do it at first, and that's totally fine. So just stick it at a level 0 right now, completely neutral. Alright, totally bodacious. Now let's take it to a -2. What do you need to do? What do you have to imagine to get it to a -2 right now? Pause if you need to. So, what'd you do to make it a -2? Did you focus on a certain part of the food, a part that was greasy? Maybe you imagined grease clogging up your pores, clogging up your arteries. Whatever it takes, just make sure it's at a -2. Okay, now let's get it to a -5 on the scale, where -10 is absolutely disgusting. It just makes you want to puke. What are you doing to get it there? Get it to a -5 right now. Take more time if you need to. Alright, now let's go to a -7. Do this super quick. Do it now. Pause the video quick if you need to. And really do this. Get it at a -7 where it's really starting to get gross. So pause if needed and do that now. Alright, it's at a -7. Killer stuff. Good job. Now let's drop it to a -10. Whatever it takes. Maggots and cockroaches and spiders crawling all up in it. Your health deteriorating with every bite of it. Maybe you imagine how every bite is pushing you further and further away from the life you want most. Destroying your chance, any possibility of getting to where you want to be. Seriously impacting your relationships. Whatever it takes. Get it to a -10 right now. Pause if you need to take a little bit more time and come back. Okay, amazing. Now you're at a -10. This is something you used to crave. Used to being like 2 minutes ago. Just a couple minutes ago, you were at a +10 where you totally had to have it now. Your craving was at its peak, but then you shifted it in a matter of moments. So what'd you do to make this food so disgusting, so appalling? Even the thought of it makes you want to projectile vomit like The Exorcist. How in the hell did you do it? What do you have, like superpowers or something? Gosh golly, pretty good. To get to that level, some people think about loss. You know, loss of health, loss of relationships, loss of love. Maybe you thought about this food destroying your health, causing a heart attack, causing disease. What'd you have to believe about this food? What'd you have to associate? What'd you have to link to it to get it to that level? Maybe you had a clam juice or something weird that innately totally grosses you out. Whatever it was, congratulations. That's pretty freaking phenomenal. No doubt about it. Okay, break your state a little bit. Shake out your arms and legs, your neck. Take a second to do that. Alright, now that you broke state a little, just think about the food right now and see where you go. See where your level of desire is at right now. Notice where it's at. I'd probably say that most people, after going from +10 to -10, might find themselves in a positive range, maybe around 2 to 5, but not much higher. And even if they are higher, they know they can go down immediately. They just did. And this is a change that could last long term, perhaps indefinitely for some people. It also might just last short term. You know, it depends on how in the moment you were, at what level of intensity and depth you associated what you were imagining to hit the targets we went through. And it's also unique to how your brain operates, but The extraordinary thing is, the formula we just went through oftentimes does produce longer lasting results. So maybe from this point on, the food you used to crave, the food that was your weakness, the food that's been causing friction and has been a big factor preventing your success when it comes to your ideal level of health and fitness, that food likely no longer has power over you. Not only because you conditioned a different association to that food and just automatically you're now at a new level of desire, but you learn how to take control. You learn how to become its master or master. And all that could and should create a ripple effect of positive transformation that will make your path to your ideal figure a lot easier and more aligned. Now, here's the key. You can go to any level of desire you want with this food from here on out, or any food for that matter. So what do we really do to create these shifts, and how do we recreate them in the future? Well, there are some other little mind tricks going on that we did, but a big part of it was that we basically set a target, said let's get it to a -5 or whatever the number was. Then we asked, okay, what would it take to get there? Not, is it possible? Not, can I do it? Just simply, what would it take to get there? And we found a way, and maybe even multiple ways to hit that target. By setting the target and asking what has to happen in order to be there, it causes us to lift our standards and ask questions that give us the answers we need to experience what we really want. You know, you could have always hated this food. You could have always loved this food. But unless you take control, you end up with whatever circumstances give you, whatever your environment dictates. If we don't consciously take command and decide how we want to feel, what we really want, if we don't have a target, we leave ourselves open to be triggered by whatever's happening in the moment. If we don't direct our experience, have a clear target, and a series of steps to do what it takes to hit that target, then we might be winning and feel like we're losing simply because we're not keeping score, and vice versa. So use this formula, use this little run through as evidence and proof of the blueprint it takes to hit your fat loss and weight loss targets. Use it in attaining your ideal figure, your ideal physique. Set that target up and don't ask yourself, is this possible? I don't know if I can do it. Just cut the bullshit that gets in our way and ask, what does it take to get there? What's the blueprint? And simply do it. At a foundational level, it's that simple, you know, but there are some things we need to shift to get there, of course. And besides what we've done so far, we'll work on that more in upcoming videos. You know, too many people who want to lose weight, lose fat, attain their ideal figure aren't clear on what they really want and in what period of time they want it. It sounds kind of ridiculous, but I see a lot of people that just aren't clear on the steps they'll need to take to get to where they want to be. They don't have a plan to bridge the gap. They just have a goal in mind and haven't done the prep work. Have only given vague thought as to what it would really take to get there. They're kind of just floating down the river and better hope it doesn't lead to Niagara Falls. So establish absolute clarity. What do you want and what has to happen in order for you to get it? You may not have all the answers, but all you can do is best position yourself to get what you want. So we got to lift our standards and get clear on what it takes. And we could apply this in any area of life. So congratulations. Awesome job. Hopefully you made some distinctions that will get you moving in the direction you want to go and create lasting change. You have one more mission if you choose to accept. To instill this formula and really create some powerful results, some lasting results, I thought it would be totally bodacious if we did a little challenge. We'll call it the 10-day Super Ninja Craving Crushing Challenge. You think that's too long? Maybe chop it a little bit if you want. How about the TD-CCC? Check those rhymes, son. So here's the challenge. If you find yourself getting a craving that you want to control, something that's maybe been a problem and a roadblock getting in the way of your weight loss goals, then put this little ninja formula to the test. Use it immediately, and you'll be able to make the necessary shifts, probably in seconds, but it may even take a few minutes at first. Even if it takes a little bit, I think you know by now it's worth it. Now, here's the caveat. If you don't use the formula, and if you give in to the craving, you have to start over back to day 1. So if you're on like day 6 and you give in and smush your face into a chocolate cake and attack it like a hyena, then you gotta go back to square 1, baby. Now this is strictly about cravings you want to control, foods that have been a weakness and you want to remove the friction that these foods create. You don't have to start over if you're honest with yourself and maybe eat one of the foods you really like in balance. So it's totally up to you. Are you up for the TD-CCC? Let me know what results you get, both from the 10-day challenge and also what you got from going through the formula with me during the video. So if you want, leave a comment right now about what you got from the formula, and then come back and leave feedback to let us know how the TD-CCC challenge is going. I'm definitely looking forward to your feedback. Hopefully this helps out a ton and creates a big shift in the right direction. In the next video, we'll go over another ninja trick or two that crushes another huge problem. One of the biggest roadblocks that prevents people from attaining their ideal figure and making the change last. so look out for that. And subscribe to the channel if you want, and you'll be notified when that video comes out, and also the other videos that are soon to come. Alright, good luck, kick some butt, let me know how it goes, and we'll talk soon.